go to 4.13, 413, Chancellor's Report.
Good evening, Board President, as well as the other board members and colleagues. As I always do, I'd like the presidents to give their reports first, and then I'm asking that the Executive Director of MCPR, Mark Johnson, provide just a brief update to the board. And I'd like to start with, that's the College of Alameda, followed by Merritt College, Laney College, and then last BCC. So I will start first with College of Alameda, Dr. Nathaniel Jones III.
And as always, please let me know if you guys would like me to share your college reports.
Thank you, Maya. I don't need that this time, but thank you. Good evening, President Reese, trustees, Chancellor Jackson, colleagues, and community members. First, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Chancellor Jackson for visiting the College of Alameda this morning, as well as the many COA community members that came out and helped to make this visit an enjoyable and productive one. I would also like to convey how wonderful it was to see many students, faculty, and staff on campus today participating in our Welcome Day events, which included our fresh produce distribution, a brunch, as Director Rodriguez mentioned, as well as information sessions and tables. As part of our strategic enrollment management efforts, we have officially launched our new student-centric website on January the 4th. Along with the new website design, the college has changed its URL to be alameda.edu. New attributes of our website include mobility responsiveness, intuitive and student-centric navigation, and a design that is around the College of Alameda's Guided Pathways fields of study, as well as a full-service chat feature. I would like to thank the website redesign committee for their great work. I would also like to welcome two new colleagues to the College of Alameda. First, I'd like to welcome Mr. Augustine Gill as our new Vice President for Administrative Services. Augustine is a seasoned professional with over 20 years of administrative and management experience. He grew up in Pakistan and came to the United States for graduate studies in international development administration. Augustine has managed multi-million-dollar global and US-based programs in education, health, poverty alleviation, and disaster management for some of the most reputable organizations, including Save the Children, American Red Cross, and the Catholic Charities. For the past 10 years, Augustine has worked with not-for-profit boards and led local nonprofit organizations as Chief Executive Officer and Chief Operating Officer in the Bay Area. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Augustine Gill to College of Alameda and the Peralta District. I would also like to welcome Dr. Reza Malaysi as our new interim Dean of COA for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics Division, or STEM as we call it for short, which you approved this evening. Dr. Malaysi brings to this position significant experience because of his role as a tenured faculty teaching biology for over 19 years with the college. He has served on many shared governance committees, including the Budget Committee, Distance Education, Curriculum Committee, and others, as well as serving as an academic senator. He has extensive academic and professional background in STEM, as well as a focus on innovative practices, which will be a great asset to the division as well as to the college. Last Friday, we had our spring 22 Flex Day. The day included presentations and welcome by college leaders. Also sessions on humanizing your course with a liquid syllabus, student learning outcomes assessment and program review, embedded librarians, an option for your Canvas course, and a conversation about ethnic studies and equity. Lastly, in recognition of Dr. Martin Luther King Day that we celebrated last week, I'd like to end with two quotes from Dr. King that I included in my Flex presentation that I believe speak to the work that we do as educators, as well as in light of the current challenges that we find ourselves in. First quote: "The function of education is to teach one to think intensively and to think critically. Intelligence plus character, that is the true goal of education." As part of a college community, we are engaged in transformative and noble work. It is highly important, and it is what drives us to do the things that we do with a high degree of compassion, thoughtfulness, and seriousness. Hence, but we also know that the work is not always easy. Hence, if we can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But by all means, keep moving. And that's the clarion call for us to do. Despite the challenges, I believe that we're called to continue to keep moving, to advance the work of transforming lives through education. That ends my report. Thank you for your time.
Well, thank you for that, President Jones. That was really inspiring. So Chancellor Jackson, President Napoli Belair, trustees, Peralta constituents and community members, I want to say good evening. Let me begin by saying that I appreciate everyone who has demonstrated a genuine commitment to heading into the spring 22 academic term with a renewed sense of hope and purpose, I'll say. We're all well aware of the challenges that we continue to face. So please know that your dedication, your circumspection, and your sacrifice that you bring to bear on behalf of our students, on behalf of each other, that does not go unnoticed. But with that said, I want to start by sharing with you some of the positive and exciting things that have transpired here at Merritt over the past few weeks. So just a couple highlights. Just before the break started, I want to highlight Ms. Tahita Anderson, who serves as the project manager for Merritt College's Umoja Sankofa program. She took the opportunity to connect with the faculty, students, and staff down the hill at Castlemont High School in East Oakland. And during her visit, in addition to distributing PPE, we had some Merritt swag bags she was giving away, and her apprising everyone of the resources and support that are available to students who participate in Sankofa, which is the counseling, the book vouchers, the financial support, et cetera. She addressed questions that the students had about many of our academic programs. And based upon their feedback, we learned, got dark real quick. Based on our feedback, we learned that the students seem to be most interested in our allied health programs, particularly the EMT, the rad tech, and the nursing. But what was really, I think, most exciting for us was that we were able to get a commitment from the Castlemont coaches that they would be constituting a dual enrolled student athlete cohort to pursue a pathway in health sciences, and that's going to start next semester. So we're really excited about that. I'm also pleased to share with you that Merritt College was one of 4 institutions nationwide that was credited with contributing to a report, which was published by the Ronald W. Walters Leadership and Public Policy Center at Howard University. titled Engaging College Students in the 21st Century Law Enforcement, and funded by the United States Department of Justice of Community-Oriented Policing Services, a mouthful. The report identified best strategies for incorporating diversity, equity, and inclusion approaches to really try to transform recruitment policies for law enforcement agencies. And given the reputation of our Administration of Justice program at Merritt and the reach of our faculty, particularly that of our recently retired department chair, Miss Margaret Dixon, Merritt College was asked to convene a student focus group to talk about student perceptions of policing, police, Black-Brown community relationships, and law enforcement careers. So the final report ended up detailing the focus group findings and summarizing student suggestions for both mending and strengthening police community relations, and how we could go about recruiting young people, but particularly students of color, to professions in law enforcement. And Merritt's contributions to this effort was summed up by the director in this way, and I quote, without the participation of the focus group volunteers from Merritt College, we would not have been able to conduct this critical study. So we were happy to lean in and lend a hand. So in closing, I want to give a warm welcome to some of the folks who are new to Merritt College or new to their positions. So just a few names, just want to give some love to Miss Maria Valencia, who is an A&R clerk here at Merritt, Miss Stephanie Lee, who is our new financial aid specialist. We have Joan Pinkney, who is in the business office, Thing Kim, our new custodian, Stephanie DeVito, beloved, but she has a new role as our health services coordinator, and Kevin Subakow, who is our new tenure track chemistry instructor. So we look forward to you doing amazing things at Merritt College and for this district. And that concludes my report for this evening.
Thanks, and great job as always, President Johnson. Good evening, Chancellor Jackson, President Napoli Bella-Reese, members of the governing board, students, partners in education, and valued community members. This week at Laney College has certainly seen a lot of activity on campus, and has certainly been great to see so many people come back. My special thanks go to the faculty, the staff, and the administrators for their efforts, not only this week as we start, but the build-up to really have us not just in line, but ready for this semester. And as we continue along, though, we continue to listen and we continue to adjust where needed to meet the needs of our students and our employees. Most importantly, I would like to acknowledge the collaboration that has taken place between the Laney College staff, Bright Star Nursing Services, and Marina Security to make this week go as smoothly as possible. And a special thanks to District Director of Public Safety, Timothy Thomas, who, in the face of some feedback, provided us with some more presence with Marina Security to help guide people around campus. And thank you to our constituents who provided that bit of feedback that caused us to go ahead and make that tweak. Also, members of the board, in my written report tonight, I also have an acknowledgement for all who made our Laney College Flex Day a success. I often say that I look forward to those Fridays because I really feel like I don't go anywhere, but at the same time, I go to a great one-day conference that really you can't get anywhere else. Laney College got a real shot in the arm with its food distribution efforts last week. We were awarded a $44,600 grant from the Alameda County Community Food Bank. These funds will be used for long-term investments in addressing food insecurities among our students. My most sincere thanks to Food Services Manager Neil Bermenko and all the colleagues who contributed to writing and ultimately successfully achieving this successful grant. I'd also like to take this opportunity, as always, to recognize students who are successful. Peralta Citizen Editor-in-Chief Leticia Luna, was one of the few applicants selected for a coveted paid summer internship position at the San Francisco Chronicle. As she engages in multimedia projects and community engagement assignments as part of this internship. It will certainly be an accomplishment for which our college shares a great deal of pride. Also pride in her professor, Laney Gastos. At the next meeting, there will be further details about this exciting development in my written report. Tonight, I'd like to close with my last item, which is to talk about something great that has happened over the last 2 Saturdays at Laney College. One Stop Saturday has become a tradition that continues at Laney during the 2 Saturdays that precede the semester. On the 15th, we had about 100 students join our virtual event. And then this past Saturday, we had over 200, yes, over 200 students join us in person. And from that, there were more than 250 student registrations that happened immediately within the window that followed that event. It was great to be there and see students seeing counselors and receiving so much needed in-person assistance. My special thanks to Ms. Hope Lane and Katrina Santos, as well as the members of the One Stop work group who put in hours of work and coordinated efforts across our campus. You know, it was really great to see the students come and really get that first engagement with Bright Star to get onto campus and get access. And then to have students, in addition to receiving assistance, receive a Laney swag bag, a folder for the semester, pens, and then also be treated to breakfast, water, and coffee. Additionally, we had a number of tables set up the event with representatives from Union Bank and SparkPoint, along with Laney's Career Services, as well as our Restoring Our Communities program, all of whom set up tables. And then our all-star faculty, including Chris Weidenbach, who was out there saying hello to students and welcoming them, as well as our deans and other faculty who were on hand answering questions about programs and classes. Additionally, there was just so much coordination and collaboration that took place that day to make things a success. But having said that, I want to just close my report tonight by providing a moment of additional recognition. The event was from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., but several of our colleagues stayed well afterward, basically until 4, to continue assisting the many students in need of enrollment services. And with that, I would like to acknowledge the following individuals, especially for staying all the way until 4 o'clock to guide students within Dean Mildred Lewis's area. Charles Bradford, Jennifer Ma, William Ramos Ochoa, Blanca Montes de Oca, Atia Rashada, Tina Towar, and also our student ambassadors who provided not just the student experience, but in a lot of cases, some translation services that were badly needed. Lisa Duong, Carlos Jordan Silva, who is a regular attendee at these, Sajida Sawari, and Umes Taylor. Really, this was, education at Peralta is about personal attention. And this Saturday was just such a moment in which I felt like I learned from many people who committed and did such great hard work for us. And as we move through the semester and we look at our more than 70 sections that will be opening either on February 14th or on March 21st, we are going to pledge to offer that same amount of, before the first day of class, personal attention for those students. Indeed, at Laney and across Peralta, we do great things when we come together. And this past Saturday was yet another reminder. This concludes my report.
Thank you, President Besikof. Good evening, President Napolia Bellaris, Chancellor Jackson, members of the Board of Trustees, colleagues, and community members. Feliz Año Nuevo, Happy New Year. In addition to the written report for Berkeley City College, I'd like to offer some remarks. It is with great enthusiasm that I would like to welcome students, faculty, classified professionals, and administrators to the new year and spring semester. Berkeley City College is offering 430 sections, 26% of which are in person, 13% hybrid, and 61% online. With just over 1,700 students enrolled in face-to-face classes, the campus has been active and ready to serve students. Like many of our new students, this is my first semester with this level of on-campus engagement since joining the Peralta family. I've enjoyed meeting colleagues in person, students throughout, and making connections. And one such connection was with Senida, who came to BCC to enroll in classes this week. Dr. Stacy Shears met her in a grocery store and did what most educators do when the topic of education comes up. She asked Senida what her dreams and goals were. This conversation led to Sanida coming to campus and receiving services from enrollment services professionals, counseling faculty, and where she learned about opportunities for campus employment. Today, counseling faculty member Skylar Barton was walking a new student, Ibrahim, around campus because he had arrived early for his first in-person class. So meeting Sanida, Ibrahim, and all the students with whom I've been able to connect have been the highlights of my week. And it's only Tuesday. The BCC student ambassadors have been actively engaged to support students and the broader community during these first weeks of classes. And I've had the privilege of working with them last week when we were in final preparations for the start of classes this semester. They provide real-time support in our live chat feature on the website, as well as now in person in the Welcome Center counter. And in collaboration with our student services colleagues who support the express registration events, they have guided hundreds of students over the past weeks through the enrollment process and eventually to register in classes. With all of the energy that we also had going on last week was our College Flex Day. As you have heard from some of the other college presidents, it was well attended and included much needed space to re-engage as a teaching and learning community. From guided pathways implementation to strategic planning to addressing the operational needs for the spring semester, BCC faculty, classified professionals, and administrators engaged in deep work to continue to support student success, student completion, and remain focused on issues of equity. Of course, we had a community building activity that might have yielded some video clips of BCC colleagues singing, and I'll leave it to you to find those. I am grateful to the leadership of Susan Kahn, Alan Olmedo, and in their collaboration with our Professional Development Committee and district colleague Inger Stark for our very successful Flex Day. I would like to thank colleagues from across Berkeley City College and the district for the work to prepare for campus, to welcome the over 1,700 students who have enrolled in face-to-face classes, and for the thousands more enrolled in online courses. From our custodial team to the security team to the leadership team, faculty, classified professionals, it really has taken each and every one of us to continue to keep students at the center of our actions and work moving forward. The list is incredibly long to name every person, but please know that we see you and how you are showing up for our students, both in person and online. In closing, I just want to say that we are looking forward to welcoming Dr. Jackson tomorrow. And while we are excited to have you on campus, Dr. Jackson, I have to say that I'm even more excited to see the students that will come to our campus and get the services that they need, both in person and online. So with that, that concludes my report for this evening. Thank you.
Thank you. Mark, would you like to just share a few things district-wide of emphasis that you and I discussed? Mark?
After I unmute myself, I would be delighted to.
Okay, all right.
So bear with me here. This is a preview of a Peralta Gems article.
Hold on. Okay.
Are you with me?
Yes.
So this is a Peralta Gems article that has not yet been written, but I had the pleasure of accompanying Chancellor Jackson on a couple of her campus visits. So here are just a couple of pictures from the visit to Merritt College. My apologies to President Besikof. I wasn't there for the visit to Laney, although I was on campus today and it was hopping. So going through, it was great to see those signs that were directing students to the check-in points. President Chanowski mentioned seeing Chancellor Jackson and being able to meet in person. So I was able to get that captured on film. Here is our Director of Public Safety, Tim Thomas, who is helping to keep us safe as we navigate through the Merritt College parking lot B. And here's President Johnson and Chancellor Jackson at Merritt College. And this morning, we went to College of Alameda, where Dr. J was able to see old acquaintances, including Selwyn, and she got a Puente t-shirt, which is very stylish, to connect with her former colleague, Dominique Benavides, and President Jones, And we got to visit the Welcome Center, where there was literally greeting of babies that happened. And then took a tour of the fabulous new College of Alameda Arts Building. And we're able to see all of the booths that were set up College of Alameda to welcome the students back and provide the students with those Puente t-shirts and some really awesome Moja t-shirts as well. So with that, that's the pictures. I'm looking forward to the visit with Berkeley City College tomorrow. For more pictures there. And the other thing that Chancellor Jackson asked me to speak about tonight was about our new website. And let me see if I could find my Zoom controls so I can try and share screen again. Here we go. So I have an update for you on the website. Can you see my slides again? Great.
Yes, but it's not in presentation mode, but yes.
Okay. So just a quick update. When I last spoke to you about the website, I gave you a little bit of a background. So we've been working on this project for about 1.5 years at this point to relaunch the website for attracting new students, to make it more accessible, to make it mobile optimized, and to integrate better with our marketing system. It's been an incredibly collaborative process where I've had the privilege of communicating about the website with many of our students, including ASBCC President Harry Mapadil, who was on the call earlier, keeping up with faculty and staff through different collaborative governance committees, and keeping up with our classified professional colleagues as well. Here's a sort of a before and after. The website hasn't changed in a decade, and we are just about ready to make that change to the beautiful new website on the right, which was based on a mock-up created by in-house graphic designer Marcus Creel. In-house web content developer Aaron Harbour has been incredibly busy. He's built out well over 300 pages from the current district website that he's converted into the HubSpot content management site. And we were very, very pleased to announce a soft launch of the new site at explore.peralta.edu on November 15th. We spent December and January so far dealing with the feedback that we got. And I want to say thank you to all of the members of the community who have been emailing myself and Aaron Harbour, our web content developer, with suggestions on the new website. And we definitely appreciate the praise. Many people are telling us that it's a beautiful new website. It is responsive, looks great on mobile devices as well as on desktop. It is much better in terms of accessibility. So we appreciate the praise, but what we're really looking for are the problems with the site so that we can fix those problems before we do our full launch. And our plan is to do the launch in mid-February. We're targeting February 15th as the day to do the launch. So what does the launch mean? It means that we will change, right now, if you type in www.peralta.edu, you are directed to web.peralta.edu. On February 15th, we are going to change our DNS settings so that www.peralta.edu directs one to our new website. In other words, we're changing the domain from explore.peralta.edu to www.peralta.edu. The old site is still going to be available if you type in web.peralta.edu, but if you just do peralta.edu, people will end up on the new site. We'll be decommissioning the old site much later in 2022. We want to make sure that all of the information has been adequately archived and that all of the updates the URL updates have been made so that people can navigate easily to the new website. So that's what our next steps after we launch will be. It'll be making sure that all of the links resolve properly, building out the HubSpot database for the employee directory and some of the other tools like the calendar of events that I'll show you in just a second. Translated content, which we discussed the last time I presented about the website. A chat bot. I wanted to thank Royal Roberts for the information about some chat bot organizations. We've had discussions with them and we're exploring some other options as well. And then any other suggestions that you all would want to have. And with that, I'm going to click in, or actually I'll just go to our new website. And I'll show you that it is very beautiful on a mobile-sized monitor, a nice responsive design, whether one is looking at it at a mobile device, aspect ratio. We've got it integrated with our newsletter with Peralta Gems. As you can see, we've already got the president's reports from tonight that are posted on Peralta Gems, and that's being pulled into the new site. We also want to make the new website your one spot for events that are happening across the district. And as events happen at the colleges, we'll be adding those events here on the district site as well. And we have more information about the colleges and the footer with help with navigation. This is also really important for accessibility standards. And the last thing I'll point out is that our web content developer, Aaron Harbor's email address is on every page. So if you have any questions or concerns about the content, you can email Aaron so that we can get this fixed for you. And with that, I'll stop sharing and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Presidents, and also thank you, Mark. I just want to make one last comment before I turn it back over to President Reese. And everybody has been making quotes tonight. And rather than trying to address a lot of the questions and concerns that were voiced during the public comment, I would want to direct people to the Safe Peralta website. If you have not looked at the town hall that we had in December on the 20th, or the town hall or flex day, please do so. A lot of the questions that were voiced have been addressed in the questions and answers, as well as some of the comments by some of the presenters on the panel. So the esteemed author James Baldwin once said, "Not everything that is faced can be changed, but nothing can be changed until it's faced." And so for those that have concerns, thank you for voicing those. Like I said, some of those have already been addressed, but we have to face things and address them. And so with that, that's what I'd like to leave you with. Nothing can be changed until it is faced. So thank you very much, Board. Thank you, President Reese, and I turn it back over to you.
Thank you, Chancellor, and thank you all that presented. Trustees, do we have any questions at all? Vice President Delphine Polk?
Yes, thank you, Mark, for showing us the website. Can you let us know about any sort of translation services that's going to be available for the websites?
Yes, indeed. So we are working on the translation functionality. HubSpot, the vendor that we use for the content management system, has given us some recommendations, and that's absolutely at the top of our list. Once we get the English content aligned, then we will be providing some translations, and we're looking at Spanish language, Chinese language, other languages that are used in our district.
Thanks for
Trustee
the
Gonzalez,
reminder, Trustee Delphine Pope.
You know, I'm always going to ask, Chancellor.
And keep us, hold us to it, that we wanted to move to this platform, so we would have some accessibility issues and also translation. So it is definitely on the radar.
Trustee Gonzalez, UN.
Thank you, Chancellor, and your staff for the reports. I also really was very appreciative of public comment. And I hope we have some mechanism to validate in a more systematic way the district's needs around COVID. It's obvious you're working really hard with your staff to try to accommodate needs. It's not obvious what the correct choice is in any given instance. It's really clear there's a diversity of viewpoints. I really appreciate the difficulty of the decisions. And we need a more methodical way of figuring out what those needs specifically are. And so I trust that you and your staff and faculty and students will collectively figure that out. Thank you for your hard work.
Thank you, Trustee Gonzalez, UN. Any other comments? Okay. None. All right, let us go on to our presentations. We are at 5.1.